The following is a Live the Dream Media production.
Welcome to Conversations with Ed. Please make sure to subscribe and share.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to another Conversations with Ed episode. Our guest today we're really excited to have is Carlos Valles. And Carlos is the executive director of the Sahuarita and the Marana Food Banks. Welcome, Carlos.
Good morning, Mayor, and thank you for the invitation.
Tell us a little bit about how you got into the business.
Yeah, so my background, believe it or not, I'm a veteran, and I was working as a defense contractor. Got laid off about 2012, and went back to school to Embry-Riddle up in Prescott, and took a part-time job here in Tucson at a nonprofit, and I kind of enjoyed it, and kind of was my calling because originally I thought I was going to be destined to work in kind of a defense field, but I kind of liked the nonprofit world. And late 2018, I saw an advertisement for a food bank executive director down in Sahuarita. And so I applied. And so 5 years later, I'm the ED of this ever-growing organization, and I love it.
Tell us a little bit about the Sahuarita Food Bank.
So Sahuarita Food Bank was founded in 2009 out of a closet, feeding 2 families a week. And of course, the need is there, and it's grown ever since, especially during the pandemic. But we believe that food is a symptom of other underlying health issues or other underlying issues. And so the Community Resource Center kind of was born in 2017, 2018, and we started developing other programs in collaboration with the Food Piece.
Wow. Well, we in Marana had a need for a food bank. The local food bank was closing down, the actual facility there, and we needed some help. And I called my friend Mayor Tom Murphy in Sahuarita, and he gave me your name. And thus we moved forward. We are absolutely thrilled with what you're doing. Tell us a little bit about what you're trying to do with the Marana Food Bank now.
Well, yeah, I still remember that day, a certain Friday in September. We met at the State of the Town for Sahuarita, and you, along with the town manager, a couple of other officials stopped by for a tour. But it was more of a learning. What can we do in Marana? And then the question was posed, hey, you're already doing this. You're the experts. What could you do to maintain the operations? And I knew we could, but the big thing was the financial piece. And thankfully, we do have some support from the town, from the county, and I don't want to miss out on donors in the community.
Right.
So we have that, and so. We've been in the food bank there now for about a week and a half, continuing the same approach, and we hope to do more in 2024.
Well, we're so thrilled to have you and Sophia, who was unable to be here today, and Luisel, who is really kind of running our Marana branch of the food bank, and working together. And this is not a competition; it's a how can we help more people doing more things, whether it's in Sahuarita or Marana? The food bank is much more than giving out food. We have the Navigator system with help from Pima County. Could you explain a little bit about that?
Yeah, so about a year and a half ago, we're actually going on 2 years, we had approached the county to see if they could place a staff person, kind of an extension of their one stop, because there was nothing south of the Ajo one stop in Pima County. So we asked the county, and we did a pilot for about a year. And now the navigators, there's I think 4 or 5 navigators strategically placed throughout the county. And the county again asked us, hey, now that we know what we've done in Sahuarita, do you want a navigator for the Marana site? And they've helped people with jobs, soft skills, employability skills, different things that the county is able to offer that we're not able to offer. So we're excited that the county wants to continue that partnership.
Wow. You know, and a lot of people think a food bank is just giving out food to people in need. And it is, and maybe that's the central program. But there's so much more that we could do. You know, even the Navigator service, helping people make out resumes, getting folks in the community to come in and help people do their income tax.
Yeah, exactly.
Or, try to get people employment. One of the things that we had talked about is volunteers. I know in Sahuarita you have 250 volunteers or something like that, and we don't have that many yet, but we're in the process of doing so. Tell us a little bit about the volunteer program and what they do to enhance food bank services.
So I want to make it a point that without the volunteer support, we would not have an organization. We would not be able to sustain the full-time equivalents that are required to maintain and do some of the programming, give out food, help out behind the scenes. So volunteers are critical. They're just as critical to the organization as staff are. So volunteers, we're always looking for volunteers because most of our volunteers are retirees, and they do age out to a point where they can no longer help out, but maybe we transition into other roles. But new retirees, if you're capable and you want to work a few hours, we're always looking for volunteers because you are the backbone of the organization, but more importantly of the community.
Right. You know, a lot of things happening in Sahuarita and will be happening in Marana are being able to provide different products. In Sahuarita, you have started a program to where you go to Nogales Port of Entry and get fresh produce when it's available and stuff. And a lot of food banks are not able to do that. Could you explain a little bit about that program?
Yeah, so what we've done is we've become members of the Fresh Produce Association of the Americas, FPAA, and what it does is it connects us to produce importers. We get on the list, and for a small fee, what we consider a small fee, an annual fee, we're able to tap into produce importers, and so they reach out to us whenever they might have things that it's just sitting in the warehouse, or somebody did not purchase, or they just need to donate it. So what we'll do is we'll send our refrigerated box truck to one of the produce importers in Nogales or Rio Rico. They load us up and we bring it back. And so a couple things, it avoids sending quality produce to the landfill. They don't have to pay a dump fee. We're able to feed many, many people in our community.
Wow. So when talking about food bank and what people interpret food bank to be, I want to talk. You're here as the executive director of Marana Food Bank, and what we're going to try to do. But you teach a lot of classes in Sahuarita as well, like
Yes, we have like our computer
CPR classes, or
correct.
you have classes to get people certifications. Could you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I want to kind of touch quickly. So we have three pillars, the organization, including the Marana Food Bank and Community Resource Center. So it's health and nutrition, which the food bank does fall under. We have our family support. So the free tax preparation for those individuals that meet those income guidelines would fall under family support. And then we also have our workforce development program. So I'll touch on the workforce development component piece first. We believe that if we want to help break cycles, we need to work with the clients that are coming in to offer them opportunities in the community to be able to strive for that livable wage job, even if it's a stepping stone. So, for example, we have a certified nursing assistant program with one of our partners, and we bridge the gap connecting our clients through this program and then working with employers in the community so that way they can have that position available. We have Google IT certificates program to get people trained and certified in the IT field. And, it's an entry level position, but it's for what we believe in and what we've seen, as long as you have that entry point into a career, then you got to start somewhere. I mean, not everyone's going to start into a $100,000 a year job, but if they start 40 or 50,000 when most of them are making minimum wage or just above minimum wage, that's a great start to their career.
Wow. There's just so many things that are so unique in the food banks that you run, both
Yes.
of ours. One of the things I found really interesting is you're doing it in Sahuarita now, and we're kind of doing it in Marana. And once we get established, we'll probably start doing that, is when an individual comes in, a family or a senior, to get assistance, they're going to get a shopping cart and shop for themselves. So instead of preparing a box, which is great, to help anybody, that individual will come in and they get so many vegetables, so many fruits, a milk product, and stuff like that. Talk a little bit about that system and how it's working.
Yeah. So, of course, during the pandemic, I think every place, I can't even think of a place that did a client choice. Everything was drive-through, quick, grab and go. And so right now, it's still the drive-through model at the Marana location. And my hope is that maybe in 6 to 12 months, one day we can incorporate a client choice. So we'll set up like a grocery store. People come in, they select their own items. What I believe is it provides two things. First and foremost, the most important thing is dignity. People select the things that they want to consume, their families want to consume. And then also it eliminates food waste because you're not getting something that you will not want to eat. And just because you're coming to a food bank, you should not be forced to get something that you don't want to eat. And so maybe somebody else wants to eat that. And maybe somebody else doesn't like something that you like. And so in the end, we have a lot less waste. We're able to be more resourceful in the community. And again, the dignity piece is the most critical part.
Wow. So let's talk a little bit more about helping the food bank, volunteers. We have a card now with a QR code on it that individuals can go to the website, and if they want to donate funds or they would like to volunteer services and things like that, we're really getting going. What can the local community do to help us?
Yeah, so the first thing is visit our website, www.mfb, and that stands for Marana Food Bank, mfb-crc for Community Resource Center.org, www.mfb-crc.org. You can make a financial contribution through the website. You are more than welcome to stop by the food bank, 11734 West Greer Road, Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. to make a financial contribution or even a food donation. It's not always about food. And if you have, you're at the grocery store, you collect some extra cans or cereal, whatnot, bring it by. And your donation is tax deductible, so please get with your financial advisor. But what I want to stress is that your donation stays in Marana. It does by design, with full intention. We created even though we run the Sahuarita Food Bank, a separate checking, a separate savings. So any funding that comes from Marana hits that bank account. So that way 100% of those proceeds stay in the community.
I was in the Marana Food Bank a couple of days ago talking to Louisette, and she was showing me food banks are not just food either. A lot of families that are having a tough time, loss of a job or illness or whatever they have, other products, paper products, paper towels, toilet tissue, laundry detergent, and all that kind of stuff. It may not be the primary service, but a lot of that is going to be made available. Could you explain that program a little bit?
Yeah, so we would consider that the non-food items that are critical. So hygiene items, diapers. Diapers are expensive. I have twin 5-year-old girls, and I know we were spending $302 a month for many months. So it's when people are having to choose between diapers and something else, maybe going to the doctor, if we can offset some of that, then that'll make an impact. And if we can provide it, then we will. And it's great because the support is there, and if we can help families allocate their dollars to other more critical things, then we will try to do that.
You know, another thing about we just had a employee appreciation a couple days ago in Marana, and I was one last month in Sahuarita. Is I made the statement that a lot of times the volunteers get as much benefit as the individuals you're giving food or other items, to commodity items to.
Oh yeah.
And you know, I really think it becomes, and I don't want to say pride of community, I want to say love of community. How folks in our communities, whether it be Sahuarita or Marana, can come out a day a week or a couple days a month, sign up for assistance.
Yep.
And it's a great way to get out and talk to people. You know, our communities, and they're communities of love and respect for each other, and we can all work together.
Yes.
For the common good, you know.
Yeah.
And you told me that you spend more of your time managing volunteers, but that wasn't a complaint.
No.
That's just, there's so many good people.
Oh yeah.
That will do something. Maybe it's going to a store and picking up products that they want to give to the food bank.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's helping when I know Dove Mountain just had 2 big food drives, and they brought in 6 pallets of food.
Yeah, it was incredible, the support.
And I was there when they brought the last 3 in, and there were a few volunteers there. And they were talking about, very happily, took us into the back where they had separated out cans of vegetables and, you know, boxes of cereal and everything. Donations are really important.
Oh, yeah. It's critical.
And I agree with you. I don't know if we could run the operations without the volunteers.
No, yeah, 100%. And even our board of directors is volunteer driven. And so I want to stress that they are my mentors, they are my leaders, they are a critical piece to the organization. And the support has been, Mayor, I did not believe that the support was going to be at this level, but that itself told me about the community, how much every individual that I've come across loves Marana, how much they love their neighbors. They don't want to see the community fail, because if someone's failing, a group of people are failing, then they feel like the whole community is failing, because they should have been able to step in. And the volunteers have said, this is not about us, this is about community. And you made a strong point that the volunteers innately do receive something as much as the food component, right, because they make friends, they communicate with the clients that we're serving, and I think it's an important piece to the whole picture.
I think that's just great. And, I want to talk about even some of the funding.
Yes.
In Sahuarita, I talked to my friend Mayor Tom, and he talked about what they were doing. And it's, of course, not all the funding, but it is a nice piece.
Yeah.
And we in Marana, the council voted last meeting to do some funding this year and do an annual funding. And Sharon Bronson, before she retired from the Board of Supervisors, came out and said, you know what, we're going to help you. And it may be for the next 2 or 3 years specifically, but getting on your feet, getting the material you need or equipment you need or whatever. And I can tell you, I've talked to 2 or 3 of the supervisors, and they are on board to help Marana as well.
Yes.
And government entities will help, but really the people, whether it's funding or whether it's help, is the people in our community are really the backbone of our operation.
Yeah, not to disrespect the government entities that are providing that, what I would call the seed money to get the operation started and going for the first fiscal or the remaining 6 months of the fiscal year. It's critical, and it's important that we do have the government support, and also even the grants from private foundations or even businesses, but most of the donations, financial donations, come from the community, your neighbor, yourself, even faith-based organizations. So those are the ones that do make the greatest impact, because they tend to be the largest with respect to especially a community of this size. So we're thankful for every cent, every dollar that you can make to the Marana Food Bank.
Right, and I think we're going to use a lot of things. Talking to Will or Clint Peak about, he was asking me for a directory of all the churches in Marana and the Marana area. And what we'll do is send information, places of faith, and it doesn't have to be mine or yours. It could be just whatever. Really are looking for ways to help their brothers and sisters in their community.
Yeah.
And I think once people figure out that this is a Marana Food Bank, and it will serve people in Marana, and not just the incorporated, the surrounding county areas that have Marana addresses, El Tiro, Green Acres, Avra Valley, Pitcher Rocks, people will be welcome here.
Yes.
We don't draw the line at the boundary of the community.
No.
It's a regional service to help people. And
Correct.
I can't believe how many people I've talked to, and other members of your board or different ones, when you say this is a Marana area service food bank.
Yep.
How can I help? How can I get money to you? A lot of them are looking at the next fiscal year, and a lot of those big companies will do an annual donation to the food bank.
Yeah.
But really the backbone, whether it's help as a volunteer or help in financing, is the individuals in our community.
Yeah, it is. As we continue growing as a community, of course, the need's going to expand from that. When I had mentioned to you offline that I spent time living here in Marana, and this was in the mid-2000s, and it was for a brief period, but it's grown so much. And of course, the services are going to grow as well as the community's growing. But, if we can offer a glimpse of hope for an individual, for a few individuals, and I think we're doing a pretty fine job.
I think we are too. And, it's one of those things. We'll have you on again as we move forward. We've been talking about, with the Marana Food Bank, we need a bobtail truck.
Yeah.
That will hold maybe 4 pallets.
Correct.
Because we could get produce. We could get large companies, and believe it or not, the Fry's and Safeways and the Family Dollars and Dollar Generals have excess foods at time, and they don't want to throw it in the landfill.
Correct.
And a lot of their shipments come in from out of state or something. They will call us and say, "Hey, come and get it."
Yes.
And so we're going to start working on a truck. We're going to start working on a forklift. We have a couple owners right now, but we're going to need resources there. And I personally, and it might be after the holidays, maybe we'll start the truck drive, and we're going to get that truck. We need a covered truck that'll hold about 4 pallets with a lift gate on the back, preferably.
Yep.
Almost necessary to get this stuff off. And we're going to need a few materials like that.
Yes.
But I believe the respect and love for the people in this community will help us get that.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Anything you'd like to say in closing about what we're doing?
Again, the support has been overwhelming. I want to thank the community for embracing, not me, not the team, but embracing the belief that this is about the community. It's about the community of Marana. And your support, again, whether it's $1, $100, whatever you can afford, it will go a long way. If we can get 100 individuals to make $100, even a $20 a month contribution, the whole picture looks so much better than trying to target that $50,000 donation. Power in numbers, and if you can make a $20 a month contribution, that's going to go a long way. And I want to thank each and every individual, the businesses that have played a part with this ramp up, and you're more than welcome to stop by anytime we're open, so that way you can kind of see what we're doing, what the community's doing. And if you want to volunteer, stop by and visit our website. But again, please continue to support your organization.
Give us the website one more time.
That's www.mfb-crc.org.
Wow. Marana Food Bank, Community Resource Center. Thank you very much, Carlos, for coming.
Thank you, Mayor.
I'm looking forward to working with you, and I think we got great things to come helping the people in our community.
Thank you.
Thank you.